Hi, readers. It's Lori. Welcome back to my channel. It's a summer vibe day for me today. As I'm filming this, it is the summer solstice. And while summer is not usually my season, I find that I'm really enjoying it more this year for some reason. I wouldn't say that was true the last couple of days because we had some pretty significantly severe weather, thunderstorms, and some tornadoes nearby, but not in my little community. And we had over 6 inches of rain over the 2 days. But other than that, I do like a summer rain shower in the afternoon, and I do like the sunshine and the light in the house. So there's some other things that I like, and I thought I would share with you and do a bit of a book chat today, but also to check in on my goals, which I try to do every few months and just kind of see where I'm at. I haven't looked, so I don't really know, but I have a sense of where I'm at. So we'll talk about that. And I'm just going to talk about some of my summery favorite things. So let's start with this beverage. So I got this. I need to line this up, right? You can line it up. I got this at Michael's one day, and it just watermelon is what I think is probably tied with blueberries for my favorite fruit. But this drink, and I filmed a little video to show you how I make this. I just slush up some watermelon, fresh watermelon in the bottom of the cup. Then I add a little lemonade powder mix, some water, and some ice. And it is, to me, so delicious. Now, you could, if you want it to be fancier and it's in the evening and you're not working like I have been, you could add some vodka. I will say that that is just as delicious. And you can add some other powdery mixes too. So I remember one summer we did a combination of pink lemonade and lemonade, or we just did pink lemonade at times. So we kind of experimented with it as a family, really. I don't remember if I got this drink recipe from somebody else or if I made it up, because sometimes I do kind of make up some concoctions of my own, but I feel like maybe somebody on Pinterest or somewhere had posted this, and it's been a favorite of mine ever since. So cheers. One of my other favorite things, which I'm going to need to go through the goals, is some reading glasses I got from the $1.50 tree. I don't know that these are the cleanest that they could be, so let's take care of that. But I do love my reading glasses, and Dollar Tree reading glasses are great as long as I'm not on the screen for a long period of time. The other thing I'm wearing is a shirt, if you can see it, a t-shirt that my partner Lisa got for me. It was a big surprise when it came. And she got it from a company called Kind Cotton, and they make these t-shirts, and they have some other little things as well. I'm still investigating Kind Cotton a little bit in terms of what all they offer, but they have great little shirts and some that have some kind of important messages for humanity. But what's even better for me, and why I'm sharing this with you today, is because every purchase that you make creates a donation to readers, young readers all across the nation, and puts books in their hands. So to me, that is just a win-win-win. I love this t-shirt. It's a gift of books and reading to children and their families, and it supports a small business or maybe a medium-sized business. I'm not really sure. This is one of those really soft, buttery cottons, and it's light, so it's perfect for summer. I do have a little shell on today because I got a little chilly, which I do sometimes in the summer months when the air conditioning is on. And where I sit, there's a vent right here, so it does really get pretty cold. So here's my Dollar Tree reading glasses and my goal book. And here we go. Okay, read 52 books in 2023. That is my first goal. And as of today, let me just check and see before I tell you something that's inaccurate. I looked last night, but I don't always trust my memory. 34 of 52 have been completed. I'm very proud of that. So I'm not going to worry really about whether or not I'm going to read an Outlander, if you will, or a Demon Copperfield or something like that that's going to take me a little bit longer, 1 month this summer, because I'm really well on my way toward reaching that goal. Another one of my goals was to track my statistics again, and I'm really struggling with that. I started it with a spreadsheet that I got, and I couldn't figure out, I deleted everything and then realized that that meant that I didn't have the formulas in the spreadsheet anymore. I wasn't thinking. So then I had to go back in and put the formulas back in, so undo everything I had done. And then I just never got back to it. So I did start to try to do that, but I have not been successful in getting very far with that. But I do have a goal on my self-care bingo list this month, which is in one of the Silk and Sonder, is in the June Silk and Sonder self-care book, which I think I shared that with you a while ago as one of my new favorite things. I'm going to start with that goal before the end of the month because that is an important goal to me. And also, I want to add onto that goal, I would like to start taking an inventory of my books. Now, I recognize that is going to take a really long time, but it is important to me. So the next kind of big goal, in addition to tracking my stats, is going to be to look at what I physically own. And that would also be Kindle or Nook, because I even still have the Nook app from when I had a physical Nook, which I do not anymore. So that's a big goal, but I sort of started it and then I backed off, and I'm going to get back to it before the end of the month. Of course, the Mardi Gras readathon was complete, so I don't even need to talk about that. My book planner and play with maybe a bullet journal. I have not played with a bullet journal, but I still continue to use my little Bookish planner, and I have the Bookish calendar planner as well. So I have both of these, and I don't know that because I have both that planner and this, I don't know that I need to have a bullet journal in addition, but I do kind of like to draw sometimes and use stickers and things. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe do a little bit more of that process in here. This is my goals, of course, you probably remember, but I'm probably going to start to look at that in here a little bit. So that will maybe suffice that goal. So I feel like that one is, I can honestly say I'm happy with my progress there. My little free library hunt in New Orleans was supposed to be yesterday, sadly, but the rain kept us from being able to do that. It just was going to be a mess. So the weather was less severe in New Orleans yesterday during the day than it was here, but just getting out there would have been quite difficult. So we both made the decision that we're going to postpone that until July, but that was a June goal for me. That was also on my self-care bingo. Something Old, New, Borrowed, and Blue is complete. We did all of those videos during the months leading up to Megan's wedding, so I can check that off. Okay, read more on my backlist. So here's what I have read on my backlist so far. The Chicago Cubs Story of a Curse, The House in the Cerulean Sea. Let's see. The Scribbling Solution. I reread The Story Life of A.J. Fikry, which isn't technically, it's on my backlist, but I reread it, so that's not technically going to count. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Sad Cypress. I think that was 6 or 7. I feel pretty good about that. It's not a half and half margin. It certainly isn't a margin that I created for myself, but I did want to get to more books on my backlist, and I would say that I feel great about that goal. I kind of have a new goal I've added in my head, and that is to get more of my Book of the Month Club reads read. They're really starting to stack up, and I have been reading a good number of them this year, but I also feel like I may do, I think, is Krista doing a Book of the Month Club readathon again? I think she is. I think she's doing the catch-up-a-thon again this year, but it's not hamburger this year. I think it's ice cream. So I may participate in that. I think that starts in July. Bookshelves and fireplace installed. Okay. I'm going to send a picture of this through this video. We have done the shell of where the fireplace will be. My son is quite a busy guy, and we're busy too. And so we have got that completed. Lisa and I are in the process of mudding it now, which is a bit of a process. And it also requires us to get a ladder in here. And we haven't quite gotten that, but we're very close. We're almost to the top. Then we'll have to sand it. We're pretty savvy at that. And then we can paint it. We have picked out a color of paint that we plan to use, which I will not say yet because I want it to be a surprise, but we do know that we are going to be able to paint it. And then he's beginning the design of the bookcases, and those will be easier because we don't have to drywall anything. And so he will start to build those and then get those installed. We will probably stain those. I think that is the plan at the moment anyway. And then we will be done. So my anticipated end is still getting moved back and pushed back a little bit, but I'm really hopeful that we can complete this project before the summer. It's way longer than I had anticipated, but just stuff happens. Life happens. Life gets in the way. People work, people get sick, people have to travel, it's all of this kind of all ties together and creates time sometimes for us and sometimes not. So we'll just keep diligently doing what we can do now on our end while he looks at the other parts of the build. They'll be done by the end of the year, that for sure. And then the other one, it looks like the last one is the Christmas Advent Book Exchange, and that will be done in Advent. So there's where I'm at with my goals. Now, some of my other fun summer things. So I went to the $1.50 tree the other day and I found this mug with bees on it, and it just looked so pretty to me and I couldn't resist it. And then I discovered they had placemats to match it. So I came home. I have 8 chairs at this table. So I came home and I thought I'm going to create a tablescape, which I'll send you a picture of. But then I also added my bee teapot. I have the little lid. I love this teapot so much. I've had it for a long time. And then I added my little honey pot that I've also had for a long time, and it looks like a nice summery color. And then I was going to share with you one of my favorite teas, which I think you can get online. I got it at Disney World when we happened to be there a bit ago, but this is an Alice in Wonderland Unbirthday tea, the official Unbirthday tea, which is the Mad Tea Party blend. It's loose leaf tea. But what I love about the Alice in Wonderland tea, look at the top of it. It makes me feel a little bookish, like the tea is a little bookish, right? But also it has Indian black tea, safflower, calendula petals, ginger bits, apricot bits, peach, and apricot flavors. And that is exactly why this is the perfect summer tea. So you might be thinking, do I drink it hot or do I drink it cold? And the answer to that is yes, I do. I love it both ways. And I just think it is one of the most refreshing teas. And I am going to have to find out if you can get it online because I'm almost out and I don't have any plans in the immediate near future to go to Disney World again. So I really do need to kind of figure out how to get my hands on it now, sooner now than later. Or I can also find one of my friends or one of my kids' friends who happen to be going and see if they'll just grab me a little tin. I did just finish a summer read, which I'll talk about in my wrap up, but I am noticing what summer reads are calling to me. Actually, I finished 2 this month. What summer reads are calling to me, kind of trying to think about how I want to be with them. And so that has been fun. There was one that I liked more than the other, so watch for the wrap up for this month in June, but I really did enjoy that. The other thing I am going to send you a picture of, because I'm not going to carry all this outside, but we've been decorating the garden a little bit in anticipation of creating a flower bed in the corner of our yard. So we added some things that we already had, but then I found this beautiful little gnome, garden gnome that you can press into the yard. And I just love him. And I'm really drawn to yellow these days. And so he is just kind of my pop of color when I open the back door. So if the weather is at some point a little bit less abusive than it is right now in terms of the heat and humidity, I do plan to take a summer book outside with my watermelon beverage, maybe with a little bit of a spirit inside of it, and read a book in my rocking chair and just have my gnome. And I actually also have a little hedgehog out there that we found as well, which hedgehogs are kind of one of my spirit animals. And so that has just made my life happy. And I think he's going to stay there year round. So regardless of whether I can read out in the yard or the garden now, I will be able to do that at some point. So that is one of my favorite things as well. And he came from a store called At Home, which I guess not everybody has, but it's a subsidiary of some of the other home stores. I think like Home Goods maybe is related to At Home. Household stores where they have indoor, outdoor things and pillows and rugs, and you know the drill. We also got some rugs for the porch, which I haven't put down yet because we're still kind of trying to clean up some things on the concrete. We have Mississippi clay mud in our yard, which was the foundation, I guess, of our outdoor spaces. It's hard not to find Mississippi mud anywhere, so I don't think that they shipped it in. I think it was already there, but then they laid our sod on top of that. But when we had our fence installed, they dug up all of that Mississippi clay mud, and it's still in the yard. When it rains, it's a horrible color anyway, but when it rains, it's even worse, and the dogs track it in, and it comes off the floors. I mean, you can wash it off. It does come off, but it's easier to come off of flooring than it is to come off of concrete. And so we're trying to do something with that too. We also put a television outside on the porch, which I know not everyone thinks is a good idea, but we have it covered. Obviously we have a cover, and it's unplugged the last little while because of the rain that we have so frequently. But one of these days, when the weather isn't horrid, we will go outside and sit in the rocking chairs and maybe light a fire and look at our gnome, read a book, maybe watch a little TV. What have I been watching on TV lately? I have been rewatching Ted Lasso and Schitt's Creek at different times. I also, though, am drawn to Tom Jones because the summer makes me think of Jane Austen, and Jane Austen makes me think of some, reads that maybe would fit that period. And so Tom Jones is one of those. And there is a new series about Tom Jones. And let me tell you where it's being shown before I tell you something that's not correct. Let me look. Did you know there's an app called Real Good? REELGOOD. I like it because it tells you where you can find the show. So it tells you where it's streaming or not streaming, but it also tells you, it allows you to track it. Tom Jones is on nothing that I have free access to. So I'm probably going to have to get it from Canopy, which is my library streaming service. So I'll try that. But Tom Jones is also something I could read if I decided I wanted to tackle that. But that one's been on my mind lately for some reason. It also occurred to me that I haven't seen the 2005 adaptation of Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley, and I would like to look at that this summer because, again, summer makes me think of Jane Austen. My friend Melissa gave me this set of Jane Austen novels that were originally, you're going to die when I tell you this, Book of the Month Club selections. I mean, are these not the prettiest things you've ever seen? I mean, I can't tell you I squealed crying. I was so excited when she asked me if I wanted them. And I said, of course I want them. They have a little fan on the back. They're illustrated. They're illustrated by Hugh Thompson. Look, Book of the Month Club, New York. I mean, these are just glorious. Just glorious. Look. Am I going to get to all of them this summer? No, probably not. Am I going to take those with me when I evacuate someday for a hurricane? Absolutely. She also added this, which is The Lost Memoirs of Jane Austen, which is a novel by Siri James. I knew nothing about this. It had never come into my purview before. So this came from an imprint of HarperCollins, which was Avon at that time, which I don't know if Avon is still printing or not. That's a good question. And it came out in 2008. So this one is not as old. It does have the family tree here as well. And there's a foreword, but it really is, to me, it's just beautiful. This is also a very high probability for me in the month of July. Is it possible that I will only read Jane Austen in July? It's possible. Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not? So what I'm currently reading now is something I decided to share with you, and that is The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. I have followed Danielle Laporte for a number of years. I have her Firestarter sessions. I have to admit, sadly, I have never completed those, but these are self-help kinds of books, and this one is no exception. But what this does, and it really, I felt like was a good time for me, because when I sort of at the beginning, first quarter of the year, I was just kind of thinking, some of these things I'm doing, I don't want to do this way anymore. Or I don't know that I want to do this, or I feel like I want to do that. And I have this desire to do some things differently. And I saw somebody talking about this, and I remembered wanting to get it. And so I did. So the premise of this is you want it, aspiring, hoping, reaching. So you make a plan to get it, the bucket list, to-do list, objectives, goals, accept that. You're not chasing the goal. You're chasing the feeling you hope that reaching the goal will give you. Yeah. So there's exercises. There's obviously some, things to read, paragraphs to read. There's some poetry. It's just beautiful. There's quotes. And then there's a section where you start to really document your core desired feelings, and you go through these exercises, which of course I haven't yet done, around, kind of what's coming up. So I'm not reading this in any hurry. I'm just taking my sweet time. So I've got about this much of it complete so far. I look forward to maybe finishing that. My goal is to finish that maybe by the end of August, September. But again, I have no, I have no strings attached to that. I just want to enjoy it. And I will say that even since I started reading it, but also since I started being more kind of clear about what I wanted and how much time I wanted to spend doing these things and those things, and how I wanted to organize my days and feel about my work, I have felt much better about the way that I'm being as a business owner, which, as you know, when you're self-employed, can be quite challenging, because the only person that's telling you what to do is you. And then there's usually a part of you that's also rebelling and saying, you can't tell me what to do because I really want to do this. I really want to lay down and read all day, right? It's kind of an inner struggle. Speaking of laying down and reading all day, yesterday when we had the volatile weather, it was indeed not a peaceful time, because Agnes does not like thunder. And so there was a lot of barking, and Winnie is afraid of it. So there was a lot of shaking. We had to get out the thunder shirt, and we had to give the Benadryl, and we just had to, we had to do a lot. But I actually finished one book that I was around halfway through, and then I read a thriller in about 3 hours. So I read a book and a half yesterday in one sitting, and I just that's all I did. I just laid on the couch and read. I didn't fall asleep. I was focused. I wanted to get them done. And so that was a lovely experience for me. And I haven't done that in a really long time, spent almost an entire day reading. There's just something about it. And I think summer lends itself to that, because summer's a little slower, and I am taking some time off now and again, which is also part of my plan to just be a better a better supervisor for myself, or a better boss, or a better leader of myself, right? Just to take the time I need, because I need to be okay to be able to work and be with clients in the way that I need to be. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is that I am currently, not sure if I'm regretting this choice or not, but I'm currently subscribed to Kindle Unlimited. Got a free trial for that. And I wanted to see what it was like and if it was something that I would do. And I think it is, but I also will tell you that so far I have downloaded a number of books on Kindle Unlimited to my Kindle app. And I've only finished one, which was yesterday. I'm in the midst of another one that I haven't gotten back to, and I have stockpiled a number of them. I'm not sure that this is going to make me feel like I'm on top of my backlist, or like I'm on top of finishing things, or that it meets the value of what it costs. I don't remember how much it is, so you'll have to look that up. Forgive me, but it's not a lot. And they do give you, I think it was 30-day trial they gave me. Sometimes there are books I want to be on Kindle Unlimited that are not, let's be frank. And then sometimes there are books on Kindle Unlimited that I do want. It just depends. But I don't know that I need to pay for another sort of book streaming service, if you will. I already have Scribd or Scribed, and I really like that. And they, generally speaking, most of the time have what I want, or they are going to get what I want within a timely manner. I don't know if my relationship with Kindle Unlimited will continue, but I am taking a look at it at the moment. And I wonder if any of you are subscribers to Kindle Unlimited, how you feel about it, if you think it's valuable, if you find what you want there. And just in general, let me know if that's something that you appreciate as well. I am going to pause now. I am going to go make some chicken salad for us for dinner tonight. We've been on a Fancy Nancy scoop from Chicken Salad Kick for the last, a few weeks. And I don't know about you, but in the summer, I don't like a lot of hot food. And so we're just kind of looking at some alternatives. So I have a lot of salads. I meal prep salads every week. Typically, we have a lot of chicken salad. We have a lot of fruit. We have some crudité on occasion. Sometimes Lisa will just have an apple for dinner. That works for her because she sometimes eats a bigger lunch. So we're trying the cold salad kind of thing. I've been eating a lot of tuna salad too, on crackers or on lettuce. And I'm also counting my calories again these days, because, we all do that in the summer, right? Because we want to look better in our summer clothes and bathing suits. So I'm going to now stop this video and make some Fancy Nancy chicken salad chick recipe of my own. And it's 180 calories per scoop size that they give you at Chicken Salad Chick, which is a great, it's a great alternative to some of the other chicken salads that they offer there, which are delicious. I also love the Sassy Scotty, but Sassy Scotty has a lot more calories with his presentation than Fancy Nancy does. So I'm going to go make that chicken salad so that it's nice and cold when Lisa gets home. And I'm going to wrap this up for now. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you are having a lovely summer wherever you are, that you have some nice, cool treats and some new recipes to try maybe, and some new books to read, and some new cold beverages that might be right up your street. I don't know if Michael still has these little tumblers, but it was on sale. And I got to tell you, I just love it. I may use it all through the year, but that's just how I am. Just a little bit crazy. Okay, guys. Here's my special sassy glasses. I will talk to you again soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you later. Happy reading. Bye.